Pastor Ryan here. Sermon follow-up from last Sunday as we looked at Matthew 18, verses 15 through 20, looking at Jesus bringing up what happens when a sister or a brother sins against us and how we go to them, how we confront that in a loving manner for the purpose not of beating them down or beating them up or publicly ridiculing them, but for the sake of reconciliation and restoration of relationship. And I wonder how this week you have been doing with that. How have you been dealing with that? How have you been thinking about individuals or people in your life, perhaps family members or friends or coworkers, which you could be reconciled to? Who is it that you need to lovingly confront with their sin? Or who is it that someone has sinned against you and you simply need to go to them and offer forgiveness? So, you wronged me, but I forgive you. I want to forgive you and move forward in this relationship. And then what are those things? And this is one of those things that I think is so key in our culture today. What are those things in which we're able to, with brothers and sisters in Christ, be able to live with differences? Differences of opinion when it comes to exactly what risk we're willing to take in how we deal with the pandemic that's going on. That we would think the best of each other and not the worst about the intentions of those around us. What is it and how would it be in this election season for us as sisters and brothers in Christ to love one another even if we have political differences? And not to demonize each other, but to think that perhaps the other person has the best of intentions in mind. That even if they vote differently than us, or they say they're not going to vote, or they're going to do something that we disagree with, or they have policy matters that we disagree with, rather than demonize one another, we would draw near to one another in our unity in Christ, that we would lift up the cross and salvation in Christ, and acknowledge and know that while we may have temporary and contemporary differences of opinion about how things ought to go until Christ comes again, that we can agree that Christ will come again. The complete restoration of all things, reconciliation, and everything being made new and right in Christ is not up to us. It's not up to our politicians. It's not up to who we elect or who we vote for. It's not up to our earthly systems, which we know are tragically broken, even though we do our best. So how can we be proactive for the sake of reconciliation, to lovingly confront? And I think that's key, to lovingly confront, not to cause conflict or to make conflict for the sake of conflict, but to lovingly confront for the sake of restoration and reconciliation. I pray that you would do that. I pray that I would do that. It takes hard work, and it takes above all us having a character and a sense of humility about ourselves. That what we seek is not to be right, but what we seek is to be reconciled. So I pray that for you this week as we look back to last week's sermon and consider how we might apply that to our lives. And as we look forward this week, we're going to be talking more just in a couple days about how we forgive those who sinned against us. God bless. Have a good day.